back up now. Okay. So YouTube is up. Is Twitch working? There we go. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so that like totally killed my computer. I had to use the power button. Yeah, so that's not great. I mean, really that's like a bug in the GPU driver or the firmware or something, because like I shouldn't be able to like totally kill it. But anyway, that's just like Linux problems. Yeah, so I want to go back here, and I want to go back to using the wrong buffer because at least it didn't crash. Parent buffer, yeah. So yeah, it shouldn't just crash me like that, because now I'm not actually using the cold draw buffer. Right, I'm not using this stuff. I'm just using the one I'm copying it from, which would be the draw commands. So let's see. Hopefully this doesn't crash me. Okay, I have not crashed yet. Okay, and so all those materials looked wrong, which makes sense. But now if I load this up, launch it, capture it. So yeah, so I want to look at what the difference is, because everything should be getting drawn. So there should be like no difference between indirect commands and cold draw commands. Yeah, and also indirect count and cold indirect count should be the same. Right, so that's 40. Okay, here we go. So indirect draw count is 40 and cold is 39. Okay. So there's a problem there, but that wouldn't cause me to crash like that. Like I crashed that basically because I segfaulted the GPU, same kind of thing. And so if I'm going under, like it's not going to segfault. So that's some other problem. Okay, get this. Yeah, I'm not sure how the audio sounds now, but hopefully it's all right. I do still have this. Yeah, have this running. So maybe it sounds fine. Instance count. Yeah. So these should be basically identical, except some stuff might be in different places. So one thing that's happening is somehow I have like 0 instances of a model. I'm not entirely sure how that's happening. So this one gets cold, which is actually fine. Oh yeah, that's why I have 39. Yeah, that makes sense. So this one's getting cold because it has 0 instances. That makes sense. Like it has 0 instances, yeah, here. And so it's not showing up here. So that makes sense. Except, yeah, I still hear where we have 429, whatever. Yeah, so that's what crashed me, because I tried to like load instance 4.2 billion and yeah, it didn't work. So yeah, I probably should have tested that before setting it, but I thought it would work. Yeah, so 728. Yeah, so I look here. Here first instance, yeah, 728. So 728 plus 3. Yeah, so the math should be doing here is 728 plus 3 minus 1, right? So 728 plus 2. So I should be looking at 730 in the prefix sum buffer. So like how I'm getting this number here is what gets returned out of here. Yeah. And so if I look at the prefix sum buffer, go all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, so I should be looking at 730. Yeah. And then I'm subtracting, doing like 730, yeah, minus 729, which is 2, plus 1 is 3. So that should be right. Why is that still 4.2 billion? And like everything else got copied. Yeah, copy. Yeah, this does a copy. And then just set the new one here. If this is greater than, oh, maybe this needs to be greater than or equal to. That might be it. Let me see what total instance count is, because that should be like this size should be oh yeah, it might be 731. Yeah, because like that's, I think that's the size I'm using to create the prefix sum buffer, and yeah, it's just all off by 1 error. So yeah, what is, yeah, there's specialization constants. Where's the push constants? It's going to show me what the push constants are. Oh yeah, I'm blind. Okay. Total instant. No, never mind. That's 2924. How am I doing this? Where am I creating the prefix sum buffer? It should be. Okay. Yeah. Instance. Oh yeah. Not. It's not total instant. Wait. Yeah. What? Yeah, this has the size of 730, which makes sense because that's like the first instance plus the instance counter, the biggest one. But then, what am I setting this total instance count to? Because that seems wrong. Am I not setting it? Could be that I'm not setting it. Cold indirect count. Yeah. Add node, get buffer. Yeah, fill buffer. Okay, yeah. So that's setting that. That's different. Total instance count. Right, that's the push constant. So that's coming from. Is that coming from here? Yeah. Set frustum cam consts. Right, and I'm doing this. This is terrible, but should work. Yeah, get push constant frustum const plus size of uint. Am I setting it here? Match size. Oh yeah, I'm setting it right here. So right to here, right to the first one, the size of instance indices. Oh, this is byte size, right? I'm pretty sure this is byte size. Yeah. So if I set, let's pull the calculator really quick. Just Python. What's this? 2924 over 4? 731. Yeah. So this just needs to be divided by, really size of 4, but yeah, unit 32T. This definitely needs to get improved how I'm managing these like push constants, but that's kind of a separate issue. I just want to get this working, and then I can make it nice. So yeah, so that should fix the total instance count, which should fix the buffer. And let's try this. Let's try this before setting the buffer, and so hopefully I don't crash my computer again. Build all this. And then run in render doc. Okay, yeah, so these all have the wrong materials, but that's fine, I expect that. And then if we look in here, go to the compute shader, look at the cold draw commands. So these should all have, yay, there we go. Yeah, 728 now has 3. That's a reasonable number. Great. Yeah, and we have 39 of these because we've called one of them. Good. So that looks right. So hopefully I can actually set the buffer now without, I can actually use that cold draws buffer. moment. So hopefully this doesn't crash me again. If it does, then I will be back in a minute. What did I call this buffer again? And all these buffer names, like I'm mixing cases and naming conventions. It's terrible. Cold draw commands. Yeah, build this. Yeah, that should work. So they should be identical now. So hopefully this doesn't crash me. Hey, it didn't crash me, and everything's working. Great. Yeah. Okay, we have some other problem, but yeah, everything looks like it's working. We have animations going, all the materials are right, objects are all loading. Okay. Great. What is this complaining about? Let's see. Okay, it's just all this draw indirect count. Buffer cold draw commands was created with transfer source, transfer bit, but requires, okay, yeah, I just need to make it indirect bit. That's fine. Cold draw count? Cold draw commands. Yeah, this one. So making that up here. And you should be VK buffer usage indirect bit. There we go. Yeah, and eventually, like I do have some shader reflection stuff in place to try to create these automatically, but it can definitely be improved. Anyway, now let's build this. And run it. There we go. So everything's working, no more validation errors. All right. Can go ahead and commit all of this. So git status, or, oh, hold on a second. I want to add, before I'm done with this, I want to add all these other models, right? Yeah. Yeah, so now I should have a whole lot more models and it should be way more complicated. Let's see how this goes. This might crash me. I don't think so. Like, it shouldn't, but this is like the big test, so maybe. Hopefully I don't crash. I did not crash, except I'm missing a bunch of boxes. And is this, I think, no. Yeah, so I should have like a whole bunch of red cubes out here, but I don't see any. So that's weird. Yeah, object manager, create objects. It's definitely still a problem. I'm not crashing and everything else looks mostly fine. Yeah. Just pull it up in RenderDoc again, but I want to go ahead and commit this stuff. So let's look at this. Yes. Yes. No. No. Yes. 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 No. Okay, we can turn optimizations back on. Maybe. Let's see. Partially working. Compute shaders. I should say what I did rather than like the progress. Yeah. Visible instances for the last, for the greatest first instance, and cold draw commands buffer. I mean, ideally I put these in 2 commits, but And we still have a few other things, so no and no. Okay. Yeah, so everything should be visible, and we've turned off shader optimization. So that's what those two things are for, just to help with debugging. Because we should be seeing like a million cubes, right? So this says 7 objects. What's going on? So 55. Yeah, let's see. Compute shaders. So if I go here, right? So I look at instance indices. We should have. Yeah, we have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of instance indices. Tons of them. Because I have like a million cubes I'm trying to draw. Okay, but then this thing, or no, that's instances. Here's instance indices. 3,000 bytes. Is that enough? It's on, yeah. 16 kilobytes. Seems like these are not enough, honestly. So I should have like a million of these. Million cubes. Yeah, these are all like 3 kilobytes. Yeah, it doesn't seem right. I don't know how it could not be working. Like, oh, I probably, yeah. I'm not setting it in the file, of course. It's always something stupid like that. Yeah, I changed the file to not draw all the cubes. Okay, now I can run it. There we go. Yep. Great. So frustum culling is working. Okay, and then, yeah, so I'm looking here, and I've got like 150 FPS. I look away. Yeah, so, right, it's still disabled, but the RADV driver has like its own built-in frustum culling, and so it does it sometimes. But I'm pretty sure if I change it to 10 million extra objects, then it doesn't work. So we can try that out. I remember like submitting a bug report on with RADV or something. I was like, hey, what is going on here? And oh yeah, they were doing frustum culling themselves. So that's like 30 FPS. Okay, yeah, and I get like 50 FPS out here or something. 60 FPS. Yeah, I get like 30 when I'm looking at this. Because I think it's just too much for like the driver to handle. Yeah, and this is with 10 million instances. I mean, they're just little boxes, but still. And now let me actually turn culling back on. So now we can have invisible things. And I can just run this. And hopefully we don't crash. Maybe. Hey, there we go. Okay. So, yeah, now I have like 260 FPS, and something's still a little weird. So we still definitely have some problems. Yeah. Well, right, so like the culling code might just be kind of broken here, because I kind of doing it slightly different than the other way than I was doing on the old engine. But we shouldn't have problems of like things jumping around. So there's still some weird issue with like the instance counts being wrong, or the instance data being wrong. But yeah, we are getting 270 FPS with 10 million instances. Now, I mean, they're getting culled and they're culling the wrong ones and all that. But yeah, this is definitely progress for today. We're like 90% of the way there. Okay, let's see. What time is it? 9:30. I'm probably gonna get off soon. Yeah, but let me see. Can I fix this right now? Maybe. Let me turn these back off, and then I can look at this in RenderDoc. Well, yeah, turn it back off and then see if this is still broken. Yeah, okay, so we still have stuff broken without having 10 million objects, so that's good. And so this is when we're actually culling things now. So they're still prone, but now this is like way more difficult to fix. Looks cool. Yeah, thanks. yeah, I don't know how much I explained to you, but like I'm currently rewriting my engine to support dynamically adding and removing objects. So let me see if this works. Yeah, so you see I can press like F2 and F3 pointing at my screen, but yeah, you can see I can press F2 and F3 to get this box to show up. And that's basically getting that to work is basically why I rewrote my whole engine. Because how I was doing it before, I basically just had to define everything at compile time, and like yeah, I'm defining this stuff at compile time, but like I could put some of this in a JSON file. Like, right, I couldn't do this on the old engine, right? I couldn't make this appear and disappear, or add it and remove it, because I had to like calculate all the buffer indices stuff, like all this like instance count and first instance stuff I've been looking at in the compute shader. All this had to be like manually calculated, or not like manually, but like I just had to like run over all the objects a few times to get all those numbers. Right, so like I'm doing that. Yeah, like I'm doing some stuff here, like trying to calculate all the indices and loading stuff and all that mess. But with this, with the rewrite, now I have all of this. I have like all this memory allocator stuff for the GPU, and so I can actually like dynamically add or move stuff. So I mean, like this here is basically just like a vector on the GPU. Yeah, and so I just kind of decided to rewrite everything because I had to change so much to actually get this working. Yeah, but now we're like almost there because I'm pretty sure I just need to get compute shaders working. That should be the last thing, and then I can merge all this code. There might be, yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, and so this code is still kind of broken. Right, so I want to pull this up in RenderDoc and capture this, right, and try to see what's going on. And part of the problem is like some stuff should be getting cold, and so this is like almost impossible to figure out what the problem actually is. Yeah, but somehow like the instance indices are getting mixed up. That's how like you have stuff up here. So yeah, I might have to wait till tomorrow to figure this out, or maybe like Friday or something. Because this is kind of a mess to fix. Yeah, instances. Yeah, these are all the model matrices. All these look, I mean, these look a little weird, but this isn't, I mean, this is just the data I'm uploading to it, and that's not going to change. Instance indices, yeah. So I wonder, actually, if I, no, because I can't just say, oh, if I go far enough out so that I can see everything, so nothing should get cold, but like this frustum culling code is terrible, and it doesn't actually, like it really doesn't work all that well. So that's part of the problem why this is so difficult. Like if this frustum culling code actually did what it was supposed to, this would be a lot easier. Well, I know that there's some problem. So like when does that thing show up? Yeah, and so this is, yeah, like this up here, this should not just be, yeah, so this is for those duck models, right? That duck model is fairly simple, and this thing should not be just like showing up at the top of the thing like that. So let's look here at least. So this command, we've got two instances with that, and that. Okay, and then let's look at the indirect commands we're inputting. So which one of these would be for the duck? Well, I guess I can match it by like the vertex offset or something, so I can know which one I'm looking at. So this is 46,007,434. Okay, so it's this last one here. Okay. Yeah, and so now, yeah, the first instance got rearranged, but that's fine. That's just like the order in which these get processed, right? So that shouldn't matter. Instance count 3, instance count 2, so we got rid of one of them. that seems fine, right? Just because like if it got cold, that seems fine, right? Yeah. Yeah, so now first instance, right? But first instance is so different. Like I would think these would kind of get processed in order. And so this could be something like, yeah, so I think it is a case of like the first instance plus like the instance count relative offset thing. It's not right because that's why we're getting this up here, because it's getting like the wrong model matrix. I don't know what model matrix would put it up here in the first place, but it's kind of a secondary problem. Yeah, but yeah, first index, vertex offset are fine. Index count is fine. Instance count, yeah, we're culling one of them, and first instance is very different. So then let's look at I can pull up the instance buffer or the yeah, because that's instance indices, right? So where it would be normally before, get rid of that. So before the culling, yeah, this last one, it would be first instance is 898, and so it would start looking, yeah, here. So it would have three instances with indices 170, 171, and 172. Why is this? Okay, there might be some other problem because like this shouldn't be in here multiple times. Yeah. Yeah, there might be a problem somewhere else in the code. But yeah, because I don't know why I have like duplicates in here. That doesn't make any sense. But that's a problem on like the CPU side of the code with processing all the instances. That's not a culling problem. So 172, yeah. Instance indices element. Yeah, so 898, right? So it should be instance indices 170, 171. Oh yeah, but then it's not just like the indices do get changed because I'm also culling the indices, and so I can't just like compare this to the other buffer. But let me at least try to do that and see what this looks like. Where is it? Instance, cold instance indices, that's what I'm looking for. Can I put this in this window? Okay, there we go. So yeah, go down the bottom here. 172. Right. Yeah, okay, so here's the thing, right? Like these look the same between the instance indices and the cold instance indices. Right. But the first index, yeah, the first instance variable has changed. Or, yeah, okay, but then here's like 171 up here. Again. This is the cold one, so yeah, there could be a problem there, but then like, yeah, okay. Yeah, some of this at the end might be like garbage data from like from like when the shader previously ran. And so it didn't actually get changed. So that's why there can be duplicates in this cold one. So it's not exactly indicative of that. So let me see. And then we look at the cold instance, or the cold draw commands. Indirect commands. Where's cold draw commands? Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. So what was this? Indirect. So this one has vertex offset 467. Okay, and then which one is this? 434. Okay, and this is actually in here multiple times, but yeah, it's the 16 one here. Oh, I changed everything. Yeah, it's the 16th one in the cold draw commands. That's fine. Right, and so then that means your first instance is 115, and then that's going to be looking in here. So it's going to look at element 115, And then one of them did look like it drawed right. Yeah, okay, then there's 115, right? But it has two of them. So it's looking at 115 and 116. Okay, for the index into... Yeah, into the... Okay, yeah, into the instances buffer. But this is wrong because... yes, like this is 171. So where's... Yeah, if I look here... look here. Right, so this was like 898. Yeah, it's at the bottom. Yeah, so this is 170, 171, 172. And these are... Yeah, these are the indices into the model matrix buffer. And so these actually should stay the same between the two, because I'm not like calling the actual instance data itself. I'm just calling on the indices to the data. Anyway, I don't know if that makes any sense, but these should basically be identical. Yeah, and so when I look at cold draw commands, I'm looking at 115, and there's a count of 2, so it's 115 and 116, right? And so your index is 171, but then this doesn't... So this here needs to say 172, not 115. Now, why it says 115, I have no idea. But for whatever reason, when you give that duck model 115, it draws it up in the sky like this. You give it that, whatever that instance is. So what would this mean? This would mean that the yeah, the instance index that's getting drawn to is wrong. Is there anywhere else that I see like 171, 172 like this, where it would actually be right? Because I'm trying to see, is it that it gave it the wrong index, or it wrote the wrong data? So if I see 171, 172 like consecutive in here, then it might be that it gave it the wrong index. But if I don't see it, then it's that it seems like it wrote the wrong data. I mean, it could be both. Just trying to figure this out. All right, this is terrible to look at. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I don't see that anywhere. Oh, okay, yeah, here's 171, 172. It's at the end of the buffer, so that's different. So it does seem like it wrote the wrong data here. Or, yeah, here. Right, this should say like 172 and not 115. Or it should have given it this as the first instance or whatever. I'm not sure. But yeah, I've been streaming like pretty much all day. And so I'm gonna, yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow from like 5 to 7 p.m. Central. It's in the, I have my stream schedule down there somewhere. Yeah, all right, let me, what do I have to commit here? Optimize, no, okay, don't do that. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, made a lot of good progress today. Almost got this working, except it's throwing the models everywhere. Yeah, and then I will be back on tomorrow from like 5 to 7 Central, probably. And